Hello everybody, Cutters here. Figured I'd do just a quick video talking about the differences between dry tobacco and moist tobacco, or wet tobacco I should say, not moist, wet. Wet tobacco versus dry tobacco. Now, you want your tobacco to be moist. Moist is good. Wet is too moist, and then dry is not moist enough. This tobacco right here, I don't have any wet tobacco on me really. For example, this is what I consider a moist tobacco. This is perfect consistency. Want to check if your tobacco is perfect, just pinch it with your fingers like this, punch as hard as you can, and then drop it. Okay, well, they stuck to my fingers a little bit, but let's try one more time. Let's do a quick pinch here. There, like that. That's exactly what you want to happen. You want it to kind of clump together a little bit, but you don't want it to be like a whole ball that just drops into place and doesn't split up or anything like that. So that means the tobacco is moist. You want it to be a little bit damp. Now, if it's too dry, when it's too dry, it'll be crunching. It'll sound like old leaves. I don't know why it's not in focus still, but whatever. It'll sound like old leaves, or something like, you know, old fall leaves on the ground that you step through. It'll be really, really crunchy. It doesn't really stick together. It's kind of like dust. That's too dry. You want it to be just moist. You don't want it to be too wet where it kind of just clumps together into a ball completely. Now, some people prefer to have their tobacco, like let's say moist is the middle level, and then here's too dry, and all the way on the right that's too wet. You can have them kind of in between those. Some people like that. Some people like it to be a little bit more on the dry side because, for one, an upside is that it lights easier and it stays lit easier. Another upside is that you don't really get gurgling issues. It doesn't get wet. Like sometimes there's like wetness and there's like a liquid inside that builds up, and it seeps up into the stem, into your mouth sometimes. That's if it's too wet, just too much of the water. So easier to light and you don't get any annoying liquid. That's the upside to having it dry. Downsides to having it dry are that it smokes much hotter. Yes, it lights easier and it stays lit easier, but it smokes a lot more hot, and to me you can't really taste it as much because it's really, really hot, really dry. It's just I don't like it when it's too dry. I don't like that. Some people kind of prefer it to be a little bit more on the dry side. I can see why. I don't. I like it moist, perfectly moist. Now, if it's too wet, you get the opposite problems. You won't really taste it as much, I don't think, and it will be harder to stay lit because it's really wet. But it'll burn a lot cooler, though, if you do actually manage to keep it lit. And that's basically it. So some people like a little bit more wet, some people like a little bit more dry. Some people, like me, like it just right. This tobacco right here will be an example of one that's a little too dry. It's not super dry or anything. I never ever since I got this, which was over a year ago, I never actually rehumidified this. But see, it's kind of like dust. It's not too dry. I mean, this is what you would consider dry tobacco, not too dry tobacco, if that makes sense. But thought I'd throw that in as an example. So there you go. There's a quick explanation video of dry versus wet tobaccos.